Cool, there's the waveform, flipping it. Right, so listen, we're in there. You set up your shop. This is part 2, by the way. Right, you set up your shop and you're it. And now you're retired. I just need to ask you one question before I hand you over to these two. Right, how does that feel not being in this anymore?
In some ways, it's nice. Because I don't have to keep up with all the bullshit and justify my existence.
Yeah.
And hate everybody.
I'm still doing that for you.
But, yeah, I've been struggling for a long time now because I don't know who I am anymore.
So
It's such a huge part of your life for such a long time.
It's lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I feel a bit redundant, to be honest.
Oh.
So
You're still making art, though.
Oh,
You're still
God,
painting.
yeah.
And...
Yeah, I paint dogs and horses. And
Ooh,
oh, yes.
nice.
Okay, cool. The only thing about that is, and I'll say this on air, right? If you ever just want to be part of something, come and be part of something here. Come and stay.
We
Come
will
and do
happily
that.
take you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah, mate. There's a flag. There's always. I told you when you left here the last time. There's always a place for you here, and I mean that. And also, Mickey is still using your chair, mate.
I know. So,
Your soul chair that died a horrible death.
yeah. Well,
Right.
it was a bit old.
It was. It did well, but your red chair's still here, man.
Cool. And the benches are still at the table.
Yeah,
still
these
there.
are yours.
Yeah.
They're good benches.
I robbed.
IKEA, mate.
I robbed everything out of her shop.
You didn't rob it. I gave it to you because I thought, what the fuck am I going to do with all this?
Yes. I'm covered in
Help.
shit everywhere.
Just take everything.
Okay, cool. Mickey, what have you got?
So, do you have any advice for anyone who? So when you started, it was like such a male-dominated industry, and it's still quite male-dominated. But there are a lot of other people coming through the works, like a lot of like people of color, people with disabilities, that kind of thing. Do you have anything advice-wise that you'd say to people who feel like, you know, a minority in the industry?
Oh, that's a really hard question. Because there's something about being a tattooist that in of itself is being a minority.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to answer that. I think no matter what your disability, whatever, you've just got to believe in yourself. And don't listen to anybody else.
Yeah, that's what I assumed your advice would be. Like, just fucking go for it.
Yeah, but not everybody makes it, you know?
Yeah.
So it must be even harder now to get anywhere.
I mean, it's pretty saturated nowadays.
Yeah. And with Instagram and, well, let's say social media,
Yeah.
which is all a big lie anyway.
Filters and
It filters,
Photoshop.
yeah.
The worst part of all of this is that it's not about the talent,
No.
right? Even though it wasn't so much back then, but nowadays it's how good you are at social media.
Yeah.
How many loops do I jump for a week just to get us up there? So every day I'm doing dailies of both these two, what they're doing. Right, I don't resent any of this. I like doing it, right? It gives me a function as a job owner because I ain't tattooing no more, right? So, you know, we do what's going on every day, dailies and everything up there. We do a reel every week, which I haven't done this week, so I'm in trouble. But it's the hardest thing is knowing that if we don't jump through those hoops, 1 week we disappear off the face of the earth.
Yeah, some other shop is going to just take that.
Yeah.
People's attention span isn't the same as what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's seconds now.
It makes me quite glad I got out when I did.
Yeah. I mean, also, you know, the good old days and all that, the only reason that, you know, they don't really exist either because then you had to, word of mouth was it.
Yeah.
So, no, how did you promote, you opened a brand new shop, yeah? So, and sorry, I keep saying this, but and you're a woman in a male-dominated way, right? How did you promote that shop?
I didn't really have to.
I knew you were.
This is the weird thing. I still can't get my head around it.
So no marketing, no posters, no things in the windows.
Because advertising is so expensive, and on a local level, it's a complete waste of time. And I watched Lau Hardy spend thousands of pounds and went, oh, that didn't work. And I didn't have that kind of disposable income anyway.
The clever thing, though, about you is that you did know everyone around you. You paid attention to what they're doing. As a business owner, the best lesson I learned from anybody was pay attention to what the others are doing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in a way that hurts anyone. You're not looking for, vindictive behaviour. You're not looking for anything. What you're looking to do is learn.
But didn't somebody famous once say, have a look at what everybody else is doing and do the opposite?
Yeah. Because obviously, the sad thing with everything to do with all this is that, we're all making reels, we're all doing this, we're all doing that. It's the one person that does something fucking different and stands out above everyone else.
But I never did. I just put my head down and did the work.
But you did do something different, right? One, you opened the shop in the first place. Two, your integrity and your ability to do your job well gave you a seat above everyone else. But the thing that we're all not talking about is the world was not saturated with tattoo shops. There were there were 6 tattooists around you.
And we had an unspoken rule that you did not open a studio within a certain distance of somebody else. Now, when I opened my studio, I didn't know there was somebody else just around the corner.
Yeah.
Never mind that he was shit.
Yeah. And he'd been there for 1,000 years.
And he'd been there for 1,000 years.
I swear, I think he just got mouldy and not said anything and stayed there. That's why he didn't know he was there. But how would you? There's no Google. There's no business anything.
No, I didn't know. And I did apologise to him. But I went, look, I'm established now. Tough shit.
Yeah. Sorry, who are you? I just said.
But that's the big difference, I think, between being a person with a penis and a person without in the tattoo world. Mm-hmm. I've never been one to have my bum chums, my mates all around me. I don't think women do that. Not in my experience. I mean, being an old lady or whatever is totally different.
Yeah, but we should explain old lady. Do you mean old lady in the biker term?
Yes.
Right, so an old lady is a biker's wife, right, or girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, somebody significant to a biker.
Yes, the significant other.
Yes, of a biker. It's not just some old lady. That
like I am now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, I didn't say that. But yeah, I mean, the terminology that we all live in as well, nobody understands that anymore unless they're part of the life. And it's funny that what we've ended up being is so far removed from that life, but mostly still a little bit guided by what we learn from that in the tattoo world. We still look for respect. We still look for respectability.
Well, it's a human thing to do, isn't it? Yeah. But over the years, I've gone to tattoo conventions and no fucker would talk to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what, because of your links to...
Maybe I don't know. I never knew. Maybe it was because they was... I don't know.
It's odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they were intimidated.
I've never understood that.
You're a very important person in this industry. So
you're never going to get her to understand. Before I even knew you, right, or knew anything of you, there were a few people around who said, oh well, you're near North London. There are 2 people that you should know. Obviously, one is Lau, and the other one is you, right? And these were people in the industry, very much involved with shops. One was a biker, one wasn't, right? So there was a link between you and me from that side, who we talked about, but we won't talk about that on air. And the other guy was a straight, if you like, who had a shop. And he was part of things, and his shop was, I cannot remember where the hell it was now. It was out though. It was in Hertfordshire over the side, one of the Dunstable lot. Can't remember his name.
Oh, okay.
And he said, you need to meet, you need to go and find Cilla and find these people. People talked about you a lot.
Yeah, but they might have talked about me, but they never phoned me up and said, look, we're doing this. Do you want to come along?
Yeah.
They never came to the studio and said, do you fancy coming out for a beer?
But I find that ridiculous. As when I was coming up, I was told I needed to meet you.
No fucker ever did.
And then, well, I did in the end.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted your business. Or Mrs, I want your shop. And then I looked at the shop
I went, oh, fuck that.
and had a row with the landlord.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we ended things well with them. Like
Yes.
we sorted out a way.
But I think also, no detriment to you,
Yeah.
because of you being there, he listened to you. He wouldn't listen to me.
I was pretty fucking unreasonable.
Yes.
It has to be said. I mean, the only thing that annoyed me is you still had to pay,
Yeah.
but you didn't have to pay what we thought you had to pay. Basically, you were involved in this lease, right? And the leaseholders they'd not looked after at all. It was raining indoors for fuck's. On the first day I walked through the door, we went for a beer, right? In that pub over the road.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
said, come on in, come to the shop. And I walked through the door and it's raining on my fucking head.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't understand what was going on. And your staff were completely au fait with the whole thing.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah. I can't remember the name of the girl who was a piercer there. And she was there, I can't remember. And then there was 2 other tattooists, and they were everyone was just working normally. And I was thinking, it is amazing what you can get used to.
Towards the end of the studio time, I didn't have a decent amount of staff working. They weren't working with me.
No.
They were working for themselves.
Yeah, sadly, that was it. And then when it became apparent that I might take things over, everyone was like, well, I'm not working for you, kind of thing.
Yep.
Which didn't worry me because I filled the place anyway. But then I thought, you know what? Then it became personal between me and you, in as much as, look, now we're friends. I better, let's do something right. Because also you didn't know that you could say to these landlords, you want to fuck off, didn't you?
No, I did.
Well, I think there was a reason why you weren't doing it, though. I think you.
It was trying to negotiate out of the lease without it costing me too much money.
Yeah. So.
And I had nobody to go home to bounce off.
No.
You know, I've been single for a long time.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this younger man came in and bashed his way through the whole thing. And the only reason I did it that way is because I was so fucking angry about you being treated that way in this whole shop that I just couldn't let it go. So I didn't.
No, I'm eternally grateful for that.
Well, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to have helped you in any way. But the beautiful thing about that is that suited and booted Muppet who came to talk to me, looked me up and down, decided I was an idiot. Oh, I am
boy,
sorry.
was he wrong.
Yeah, well, many things, but stupid is not one of them, mate. And that was a good, that was a good thing. But it's really strange now. But you talk to the way Mickey came up through us and Talon came up through him. Nothing much has changed apart from newer tools, newer things learned.
I
It's
went to see
crazy.
my best apprentice
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. I haven't seen her in 10 years, and she's a fabulous tattooist now. And she sat there very sadly and said, do you know what? Not a lot has changed.
It is crazy how much, like when you were talking earlier about like integrity, how you were learning, that kind of thing. I was thinking how crazy it is that so much has changed, but so little at the same time. Like all of our, well, I'd say like the tools available are really different. But so many people want to stay old school, want to stay
Loyal to the coil.
loyal to the coil.
Loyal to the coil.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to get that tattoo. Yes. Loyal to the coil.
Yeah.
People think I'm a detectorist, won't they?
Maybe we should all, I was just thinking maybe we should all get that. And then I thought, I don't want that written on me. I've got no coils. But anyway, nothing.
Yeah.
Where do people find their inspiration from these days? Where do you think, right, the way things are going and where they're at, now you're outside looking in, where do you think people should look for their art? Where do you think they should look to find the right tattoos to do? Because you were one of the first people to move outside of the books, to move outside of the flash.
Yeah, do you know why? Because they're awful.
Yeah, they were fucking awful. I bought fucking hundreds of
They were-
pounds worth of it and
Initially,
enjoyed every
yeah.
minute throwing in and fucking being after it.
Initially they were drawn by people who couldn't draw.
Yeah.
Was it Cherry Creek by any chance?
Oh,
Take that as a yes.
do you know what the beautiful thing about that, right? Cherry Creek salesman, right? He was the same one for North London and here, right? And he used to drive round, and this is when I didn't have a shop then, I was working, and he would drive up and he had a nice motor, a nice suit, did all that. 5 years later, slightly shitter motor. Same suit, bit threadbare.
Yeah, but shiny
The
on
year
the arse.
after that, he came in on his knees going, please, can I please sell you something? And in the end, I just
no
thought,
recollection of them turning up. I think they probably did, and I went, fuck off, I draw my own.
yeah. I do remember them coming in and dictating what we were tattooing right at the beginning for me.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, you know, you're doing this, you're taking this, you got to have this one, this is what's selling, and we believed it. Because number 73, Jesus, stood on a cross with a slightly puzzled expression. Apparently, it was very popular.
I had a couple of rules, right?
Yeah.
No, nothing religious, if I could help it.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly nothing political.
No.
And I got so sick of doing bulldogs, I got rid of the whole lot.
Yeah, no, I get that. Also, the funny thing with you were the first people to say, listen, don't put your partner's name on you because I'm not doing it. I'm sick and tired of covering it up. That was you.
Was it?
Yeah, that was you who did that. You were the first person who just said, look, stop it.
Yeah.
You people, as soon as you get that tattooed on you, that suggests ownership.
It's death to any relationship. The
It
minute you get
is.
their name.
Yep.
The police are coming for you.
What,
If you
again?
can't hear, there's about 15 sirens kicked off outside.
Again?
Oh, Cilla. The Taunton police have said you've left the building.
They're in our jurisdiction now.
Oh, it's not good. Right, I also want to just have one thing and go back to the start of people who work for you. What were you looking for from the people who came in? It wasn't a matter of just you can tattoo, that'll do, was it, for you?
God, no.
What were you looking for in the tattooist who came to work with you?
Nothing in the beginning. I just wanted to see what sort of people they were.
Did you not have like green and red flags?
No.
Like, no.
No, I'm too stupid for that.
Wait, I don't know what that means. What, as in,
Like-
like red flag, bad person?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm a bit
I'm not,
stupid.
I'm not a very good judge of character. You only have to look at my history with men.
I'm not saying anything as far as that goes. Thank you.
I would give anybody a chance. Anybody. If they had, first of all, they had to have a decent portfolio.
So strong line work, good
And I am
shading.
so sick of looking at A-level portfolios.
Yeah. Because also, it has to be said again, just because you can draw doesn't mean it's transferable to tattoo.
And if I never have to look at another big-titted, pouty woman drawing, I will be incredibly happy.
There's a lot to be said for those drawings, I'll have you know. Oh, no, wait.
No, that's a different...
That's it, yeah. Well, let's leave that. You're on camera, Jim. What?
I gave everybody a chance. Some people lasted half a day.
Yeah. What's a flashpoint? What is a red flag?
Oh,
What was
red
it?
flag. Oh, that's a good one. What? I don't know. Suddenly I would just think, no, you're a wrong one.
Feels wrong, right?
Yeah.
Intuition.
You know that. You do know, as a
do.
shop owner, you
do.
feel it. Right, he walked through the door not so long ago.
Straight walk through. I
Just
didn't
literally
call.
came to the door
Yeah.
and said, there's an advert about you hiring. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Did you make that up?
No. Do you know what? I'd have probably realised later on that I hadn't put an advert out. The only thing was I was amazed that someone had the balls
Yeah.
to come to my door and say they wanted to come and work here. And then what he said after I'd said, okay, well, he can look at doing a trial. Do you know what he said then? I'm going to go and look at the other shops in the area and
Yeah,
I'll
nice
let you know. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding?
I remember.
And then, and I said to Mickey, you fucking what?
That's a red flag, definitely.
But then, do you know what? And I thought, but in the back of my head, without being, too honest, right, in the back of my
Why are
head,
you not blushing?
in the back of my head, I thought, do you know what? I want him to come back.
Yeah.
Because there was a feeling about the whole thing of
it's
it.
just an unquantifiable feeling.
Yeah. And I'd seen some fucking idiots. It
Oh,
has
yeah.
to be said. And there was a lot of idiots about.
I had one apprentice that lasted 2 weeks and he refused to clean the floor.
Oh,
So he went out.
you got to clean.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not here to clean
Yeah.
the floor. I'm here to learn. Well,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
The reason you're cleaning the floor and not arguing about it
Yeah.
is because every day of your fucking life, from here to there,
Yeah.
that's what you do.
Get
Bro.
fucking
Yeah.
used to it.
Yeah, Mickey.
I had one guy who worked for me for a little while and he said, will you make me manager? I went, what the fuck do I want to do that for? I'm the manager.
There's no
Will you
hierarchy
make
here.
me manager? No, just go and make me money.
Yeah, exactly.
What's wrong with you? Also, the thing that's something that should be said. Oh, they really are coming through. Right, that's a siren. Sorry. Right, so was it about the money
What?
as a
Taking
business
other people
owner?
on.
Was it about their earning potential?
What, from their point of view?
No, from your point of view.
My point
to
of
hire
view.
them. Did that ever cross your mind?
Well, they had to earn the keep.
Yeah, but it wasn't the deciding factor, was it?
No.
It wasn't. That's not the first question you asked.
No.
Because a lot of people in my life will accuse me of being money orientated and do all that, right? Brutal fact of the matter is
Got to pay
that
the bloody bills.
and I know how much it costs to do this, right? And I've been doing it a long time. The only thing I will say is it's not about the actual money earned anymore, right? What I've learned over all these years is that it's the aesthetic in the shop. Everyone's smiling. They want to be at work. They want to be where they are doing what they do. And I think, unless I'm entirely missing my mark, that everyone who works here is happy to be here.
Yeah.
Right? I can be an asshole, right?
We
But
can all be
only
arseholes.
when it needs to be or I'm having a bad day. And they cut me some slack because they know that.
There's an overriding criteria for any member of staff. They have to bloody show up when they say they're going to show up.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. Lateness fucks me off, right? And also, if anyone ever has a tattoo booked and they don't show, fireworks in Jim's head, right? If you phoned me up and said, "Look, I'm sick. It's all bad." Then,
Yes.
Yeah, but no contact and not doing it.
Yeah.
The amount of tattoos I hear about
Yeah.
tattooists. We had somebody. We had some Vicky, the woman you did the Alice on.
Yeah.
She came to us first
Oh, yeah.
because she was booked in with some geezer in Buntingford or something. I don't know who it was. I do, but I can't say it. Right? He had just said, "Oh, I don't want to do it today, so I'm not going to bother."
I don't understand that.
Well, how can you run a business
I
that
know.
way?
Also, how can you expect someone to come back
Yes.
if you're like, don't fancy doing that today? It's like, well, if you don't fancy doing this tattoo, you're not going to do your
No,
best.
exactly.
So why would I come to you?
The hardest line in this business is consistency. You show that you
Oh,
will
God,
turn
yeah.
up and you will perform like a laughing monkey, right?
Yeah.
Every time they come
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
right? They will trust you.
It's a performance.
Yeah, it really is.
Definitely
Yeah, you
isn't
have
it?
to have like a star persona like you would in
Yeah.
any other like media or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And also, you got to care. Once you stop caring,
Because
you're done.
you're only as good as your last tattoo.
Yeah, man. Oh, I'm glad you said that.
That is an advert for your work for the rest of that person's life.
Yeah. So when you're bitching and moaning about doing your infinity symbol, right? There are two things to remember. That person who wanted that infinity symbol loves it.
Yeah.
And it loves it so much they've had it imprinted on their stupid
Yeah.
arm. But that also is a showcase for the tattooist that did it.
Yeah.
And if they've done the best tattoo that they could do on that day,
Yeah.
that woman's going to go, or that man, I'm hoping it's a woman, right, are going to go and say to all of their friends, this is where I went.
Yeah.
I had this very simple tattoo, but they looked after me like I was royalty.
But sometimes the simplest ones are the most difficult to do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's no room for error.
At the end of the day, you've got a thin line flipping infinity
Yeah.
symbol, right? It's not even a Ouroboros. It's not even a self-eating snake, right? It's just a fucking line that goes round. But if you can pull that off, which you have to do,
Yeah.
right? There's nowhere to hide. And she does it very well because that's why she's here, right? But if you take the smallest things and the things you hate, right? And you can still do them and still be proud of it, there's a lot to be said for that.
And it will only breed more tattoos.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Do you
matter
know
what you're
what
doing.
made me a lot of money in the beginning? Kanji.
Yeah.
Really wonder what you were going to say then. Okay, so kanjis, Chinese writing.
15
Japanese.
quid a
Japanese.
pop. I could do them in 3 minutes.
Damn.
3-minute kanjis. Nice. Do you know what? The world's missing kanji. There aren't any anymore.
No,
No, I've never done
Nobody has egg foo young written on their neck. Do you know, I had a rule actually.
that
in the,
stupid white boy.
yeah, you went to St. Charlie's. We had a Chinese in Hartford called the Sunlight, right? And the geezer there who ran it, he's gone now, but he I can't remember. He called himself Phil. Right, his name was not Phil, right? But he got so used to Hartford idiots,
Yeah.
calling him something stupid. He called himself Phil. So we would go to Uncle Phil, because we called him Uncle Phil because he was old, and say, listen, what does this say? And he'd tell us the horror stories that it was. One was chopped beef stew, right? And it was supposed to mean love you forever, right? So we'd make everyone wait a day, right?
Yeah.
And then go and find the real one and go, actually, it's this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
3 times as large, and you owe me more money.
But then we
That's
developed how to write an English name that looked like kanji.
Oh, that's smart.
That was a good move.
Yeah.
Fraud, I tells you. It's not even Japanese.
Makes
Do you know what
sense.
though? You adapt and overcome, and you find your way forward. And if that's what you're going to do, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
If there was anything you could change about the tattoo industry when you were in it or now, what would that be?
God.
Come on, you didn't expect to get away with it, did you?
I would actually have some proper education. I would. I mean, we tried in the union to set it up, but it is just nigh on impossible. And it takes an awful lot of time and an awful lot of money to set that up.
Yeah. I mean, to have a school, if you like, an actual school.
They have some in America, in Oregon.
I don't think I'd have a school. I would have a proper certificated apprenticeship of at least 2 years.
2 years apprenticeship.
I think in Oregon you have to do 100 tattoos before you can legally tattoo.
Cool.
I think it's something like that.
What, 100
makes
tattoos
sense.
on what, though? Fake skin or oranges or
I'm not-
pigs?
Oh, oranges and bananas.
I think it's
Yeah, mate.
probably on fake skin and fruits and stuff.
Before you're allowed to touch a human being.
Oh, I
think
did
so.
that with all my apprentices. Yeah.
Was it oranges? Was
Oranges
it you?
and bananas, yeah.
Yeah.
I went straight to myself.
Oh, and yourself. You're allowed to do yourself.
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with you about it because I said that they'd all got pigskin up here and you said you want to buy them a fucking orange.
Yeah.
And you...
Well, I'm vegetarian. I
Yeah,
won't
no, I
have
know
pigskin.
all that, but it was
Smells.
just fucking orange. And I'm like, oh,
But it's not the same. It's dead.
Yeah.
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 No, I get that.
And it's
Yeah.
flat as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing. And I tried. So
We're keeping you up, George. George yawned off camera.
Very loudly.
I'd like to
heavens.
highlight this.
And I needed to highlight the producer's boredom by the whole thing. He probably cut this out because he's in charge of that. So education is the key. Okay, but education has to come from us.
Yeah.
Has to come from the people in it.
But there
Why-
are already models that exist
Yeah.
because it's broken down into hygiene, health and safety, an ability to draw,
Yeah.
and hours practicing. It's
Yeah.
quite
Makes
simple.
sense.
It is, but it's amazing the people who, right, nowadays, okay, back when I was first owning shops, the apprentices realised what they were being given. They weren't, what's the word I'm looking for? They weren't thinking they were owed a living,
Okay.
right? Nowadays, people who come for apprenticeships, like, I've been to art school, I will be tattooing in 3 months, and you're going to provide that. And, oh, by the way, you're going to pay me.
You're not owed shit. You're getting a lifestyle. Someone's giving
yeah.
you
Also,
a craft.
somebody's giving you their time and their ability to tattoo, which then gives you a life.
And their reputation.
Yeah. Well, the reputation is the key.
Yeah.
And it does piss me off as well, and it does that these certificated places. And I've ranted about this, and it's boring. But giving people who really want to do it hope. And then basically what they're doing is fucking them for the future.
Yeah.
Because then they'll go into a tattoo shop. The tattoo shop will get pissed off about them being there and treat them like shit, probably.
Oh,
'Cause-
a lot of that went on.
Yeah, and it still does.
Yeah.
And, I try and be as nice as I can to everyone who walks through the door. Right? But if you come in expecting me to give you the world
Yeah.
for nothing, you can fuck
But
off.
that goes back to my answer before about you do know whether somebody's genuine or not.
You feel
Yeah.
whether somebody's the right person. Yeah, you're both fired. Actually, wait. Maybe I should be fired. I tell you this: we're looking, right? We're looking backwards and forwards and upside down all the way around the tattoo business. But it comes down to 3 things, right? Talent, yeah,
Hello.
integrity, talent with a T, talent, integrity, and also a real desire to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what upsets me these days. People who are expecting to be given it all and don't have the real desire. If somebody tells you to clean the floor, there's a reason to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody tells you that you need to learn how to shake all the colours every day and make sure the pigments don't settle. There's a reason for doing it. And if you don't see that reason, you're in the wrong place. And off you fuck, quite frankly.
If your ego like gets in the way of you learning stuff, you're
Yeah, but I think that's something that's quite prominent in most tattooists. Is
You gotta
their
have-
struggle with their ego,
Yeah.
particularly of the male persuasion.
Yep.
There-
Yep. I've dealt with a few of those.
Fair point.
There is like I always say there is such a big difference between like ego and like self-confidence. So it's like it's totally fair to be confident in your work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But if you think that you're the bollocks and that everyone should throw petals in front of you,
Yes.
then
I've had a
Fuck
few of
off.
them work for me.
off, yeah.
Yeah.
I got told once by somebody who worked for me, you don't say I'm good all the time. You don't thank me. I went, excuse me? I
Don't
gave you a
thank
job,
you for
didn't I?
Yeah.
Don't thank you for
What
doing
more do
your
you want?
job.
Do you want me to kiss you as well?
Ridiculous.
I have so many things to say about that. Okay, a good shop owner and manager knows that the people who work with them are very much part of how they earn and what they do. The problem comes when the shop owners are hated because they own the shop and they don't do anything and they earn the artists earn the money.
Yeah.
Right? Well, fuck that.
I've
Right?
had that.
And I've had it a lot.
Why do you not have to be here every day? Why can you not get in here till 2 o'clock? Because I fucking own the place.
Yeah, right, okay.
You
Now
earned
that's the
it.
thing. And to be fair to me, I am here every day, right? I do have to leave earlier sometimes because I've got a kid, right? And that's life. But I am here every day. And when I'm not, and I was sick last week, I have a conscience about that because I realise my job is to be here and work it out.
You're only off for a day though.
Yeah, you were like, I'm so sorry I can't be there today. And I was like, shut up.
I'm going to throw up again, right? But there are also a lot of people who think we're just in it for the money. I'll tell you this now. If I was in it for the money, I'd still be selling fucking drugs. Right? Because, there's money and I've paid my way, but I'm not rich. I'd drive a 2008 flipping Mondeo, right? I am not about that. What I am about now is my integrity. The fact that this place is now exactly the way I want it to be. Everyone here smiles and enjoys what they're doing. And I've said this hundreds of times, and this is the 4th episode or probably the 5th episode of this podcast. But you'll hear that time and time again. Because without that, you have nothing. If you have people who resent working for you, people who hate being there, doing what they're doing, then go and start your own shop if you think it's so easy.
Also, this is such a creative environment. To come into somewhere and hate it, you're not going to be producing your best work.
You can't. How can you make the best tattoos for the people that are coming in when you're under a cloud?
Yeah.
Can't.
Makes no sense. Okay, the last word should be from you, right? So I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
What was the best moment or the best part of being a tattoo shop owner? What was the best thing, the thing that still shines out
I
for
can't
you?
say anything about being an owner, but as a tattooist, there is something absolutely amazing about being a tattoo artist, and it's like magic.
Yeah.
And it's an honour. You're putting something on a person that's going to last them until 10 days after they're dead, if they're not remaining.
Yeah, that's it.
You can change a person's life, and for sometimes it's either doing a really good piece that you love, but also doing a cover up and seeing that person walk out 2 inches taller and proud of themselves. They're the icing on the cake.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cilla.
You're welcome.
To us, you are tattoo royalty. And I say it again, if you ever want to be part of something, you come here because you're part of things here.
Okay.
George, we're done, son.
Hey.
We are done.
You sounded so defeated.